My next guest is calling this, by the way, the most hated stock market rally on record. Everyone hates it. So is now the time to dive in or get out of the markets? Let's ask the Chief Investment Officer of Palisade Capital Management, Dan Veru. Dan, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
No one likes this rally, and I guess if you haven't joined in by now, too late?
Well, I think that's what individual investors think.
There's a lot of money coming out.
It's too late, yeah. So, I mean, look, we'll invariably have a pullback at some point. That's why I actually think the real risk in the market, in the financial markets, is bonds, not stocks. It's because the marginal buyer is already in bonds. The marginal buyer is not in stocks. So pullbacks will find people who want to buy.
So what are you telling your clients? Where should they put their money? What do you like?
Well, you know, we think that it's interesting, the news today with the production cuts in OPEC. That's going to have a real ripple effect.
If it happens.
If it happens, yeah. Yep. Through the industrial economy, which has really suffered in the U.S., whether it's rail, transports, or just industrial companies. Wabtec, the old Westinghouse air brake, is a favorite of ours. They make, obviously, braking systems for the railroad industry.
So this is the ripple effect, as you were saying, from oil.
Right. That's right, exactly, because, you know, that should stimulate more things being moved around in the United States.
Centene, you like this stock too. Why? What's that?
Well, so that's the largest Medicaid HMO in the United States. They acquired Health Net several months ago. They're integrating that. And, you know, it doesn't matter which party wins.
The presidential election.
The presidential election, whether it's going to be a democratically led you know, or Republicans, it really doesn't matter because the managed care space wins under either scenario. And the only way to really fix the system is to put more lives under managed care programs.
You also like applied materials.
Right.
Why?
Well, that's a semiconductor capital equipment company. There's a lot of new products coming out in the display area and just a whole upgrade cycle, and Applied is really at the center of all that. There's been so much consolidation, and they certainly are the big player in that business. I see visibility through 17 in that stock as well.
All right, so there are your picks. I got to ask you about the Fed. I'm sick of talking about the Fed. I'm sick about hearing from all the Fed speakers. But do you see a rate hike at the end of the year, and should we have a hike or should we not?
I think it's 50-50 at best. I thought there was a 0% chance that they go in September because the data doesn't really support it. You know, I just think that this Fed is managing to the dollar and nothing else. Because thinking about it through, the way you get to the doomsday scenario for the U.S. economy and the global economy is a dollar that gets out of hand, becomes too strong.
Right.
So it's different if there's support from the U.S. growing, but a strong dollar will weaken our exporters and really be the last pillar of strength in the global economy that could take many other economies down with it.
All right, Dan, thank you very much.